Hey, what's up guys? We're gonna do today a hike cardio session. This one's a little bit more tough than the last one. Got the frame pack on. What I put in my pack is my normal hunting day. It's got all my camera gear, about 2 pounds of food. I got my camelback full with a gallon of water. We're gonna go climb that mountain. I think it's like a 3-mile loop, really steep at first, flat on top, and then it drops down and just does a big circle. But it's really hot today, so I busted out the tank top. And before we get started, as before, do the same stretches, do the toe touches like this. Lock up your quads, make sure you get a good stretch, hold them for 20 seconds. Do the catcher squats, hold these ones for 20 seconds, and then do the leg hangs. These are the 3 I always do before I hike or run. There's obviously a lot more you should do, but this is just like the Cliff Notes edition of stretching. While you're doing this, just pull on your quad. It helps you with your balance too. Both legs, of course. Now today is Monday. It's fresh. I didn't do anything yesterday, so I got a whole new, my legs are fresh, everything's fresh. I can put on a little bit of weight on my backpack and push myself a little bit. The light cardio session was for a post-leg workout day. This is for like a fresh day. The key with this one is, you got to pack on, so intensity is not going to be a problem, but definitely go hard and go fast as you can, but you are hiking, you're not running this time. One of the best advice I can give you for hiking, from my own experience, is to focus on taking long strides. I think a lot of guys don't actually think about how fast they're walking or whatever, but try to extend, kick your toes out, take a long stride. When you're walking on flat ground, or even when you're climbing up hills, take long steps, get deep into them. Doesn't take that much extra effort to add 6 to 8 inches to your stride, which covers more ground, but also stretches your muscles out. Just makes you faster. I mean, just my 2 cents. Not that critical, but something to look into or try. One of the things I love about hiking, besides the fact that you have to do it to hunt, but it's a really good full body workout if you're wearing a pack. Your core does so much to keep you balanced, especially when you're stepping up one-leggers, stuff like that. It's just a full body approach to doing cardio. And naturally you're going to be wearing a pack and hiking anyways on the mountain, so there's no reason, even if you have a high school football field, whatever, just do bleachers, but put your pack on. Get used to wearing it. They always tell you to shoot your bow with your pack on. Well, I mean, if you're going to train and do cardio, you might as well wear your backpack. I just have certain days where I'm just too beat to get anything productive done, so I don't wear it. But if it's a fresh day and I want to get a real good bomb of a workout in, I'll throw my backpack on and start burning. Starting to climb up a little bit. Phoenix isn't very high. I think it's like 1,500 feet or whatever, so it's going to be hard to get your lungs cranking like for high altitude stuff, but the muscles are still growing, the muscles are still conditioning, you're still like preparing yourself, and it's a lot easier when you maintain it and do this a couple times a week than just trying to jump in the week or two before the season starts and do a bunch of makeup time. It doesn't work that way. Your body needs to be conditioned. So, these little hikes like this, they take me about 45 minutes. Go home, shower, go to work, do my thing, but just knock it out early in the morning. And that's what we're talking about. Training to hunt, train hard, hunt harder. You don't have to hike, like practice, but when you do this and you get on the mountain, you'll endure longer, you'll hunt longer, you'll go farther, you'll wake up the next day, you'll be refreshed. You only get a few months a year to hunt. If you were, my version, in my opinion, is to capitalize on it, take advantage of the time you have by preparing in the off season, so that when the time shows up, nothing's holding you back, nothing's slowing you down. And it's real simple. I mean, again, you can make fun of hiking, you can make fun of training for hunting. I just like to do it because I like to be in shape. I feel better. but I also know that when I'm in shape, I can hunt harder and do more of what I want to do. I'm not held back by my own body or my limitation. I'm not limited by my body. You know, I see a mountain, I see a ridge, I'm going. There's no way around it. And I'll never want to lose a deer or a big bull or something because I physically just couldn't get there. To me, that's just not an option. So, you know, my body needs to do this year round to get to that level. You know, everybody's different. If you notice, I'm wearing the Salomon Speedcross shoes. They're the ultimate like trail running, hiking, bow hunting, soft-soled shoe. They have a ton of ankle support considering that they're a low top. But one of the coolest things about them is they have a tread. Just like a turf shoe for baseball or football. Not a really aggressive tread, but it's super soft. And it grips rocks and dirt like really well. And it's actually pretty durable. I mean, I'm either hiking or running 4 days a week on the mountain and then hunting way over 100 days. And I had my pair last year lasted the whole year. So I'm pretty much doing one pair every 12 months. So they're ultra durable, they're ultra light, they're breathable. They're not super high, you know, they're low top, so there's not a ton of ankle support. But for like, you know, this pack weighs 26 pounds. It's a perfect like lightweight, aggressive, tactical shoe, whatever. When I'm going on big long walks, I'll put on my heavier boots. I'll just strap these to my pack. They're so light you can't even tell they're on there. And then I'll swap them out for when I do stalks or, you know, just kick it around camp up on the mountain. So it's an awesome shoe to have, especially for training and hiking and then rolling it over to hunting season. You've heard me talk about being in the fat burning zone. I'm in it perfect right now. And you'll learn to find what the sweet spot feels like, but the main key to being in a perfect fat burning zone, to me, is your heart rate should be elevated just enough that you're breathing hard like this, but you can still talk. I said that before, it sounds strange, but if you're breathing so hard you can't talk without gasping, you're going too fast to burn fat. Now, you're still benefiting aerobically in that your lungs are growing, your body's toning, whatever. But if you're trying to lose weight, it's counterintuitive, but you actually need to slow down a little bit and go at a pace that's not quite max. Your body's more efficient. You also don't want to do cardio more than 45 minutes. After that time, again, turns into aerobic exercise. You start trimming down, burning muscle instead of fat, and you kind of lose that fat burning benefit. If you want to go really crazy, do 2 fat burning sessions a day. A lot of big pro bodybuilders that are cutting for competition, they'll do first thing in the morning for 45 to an hour, and then in the evening, 45 to an hour. You can burn fat easily. The key with burning fat though is always on an empty stomach. The best time to do cardio is in the morning. Wake up out of bed, drink a big glass of water, take a Zip Fizz, or you know, whatever. If you need something to boost you, a lot of guys drink black coffee, whatever. I mean, coffee dehydrates you a little bit, so be careful with that. But I drink about a half a gallon of water between 7 and 8, and then I do my cardio at 8 o'clock. And by that time, again, my stomach's empty calorie wise. There's water in there, but there's just no calories. And so when you're actually up here cooking, you're burning nothing but your body's reserved calories, which is fat. And that's the key to it. I always feel bad when I see guys doing cardio and they're eating a power bar or something before they go up on the mountain. You're gonna burn that sugar that's in your stomach way before your body taps into its fat reserves. So always on an empty stomach. Immediately after, take in a post-workout meal, like some sugars. Like I like those Cliff Builder bars, you know, 30 grams of sugar. If you're a guy, maybe 20 grams of protein. A girl, maybe 10. But you gotta fuel your body. So you gotta put a lot of output, but you also need to take in the right amount of calories, right sources of them to kind of maintain and fuel. And again, it takes some tweaking, but it's a mission, it's a journey. It's not a overnight thing. Nothing important in life is to me. I mean, you got to work for anything that is of any value. And this is something that once you commit to it, it's not just a fad. You should make it a life change, you know.
and stick to it as a routine forever. And the longer you do it, the better you'll get at everything, the more you'll dial it in. So just don't give up. Pretty cool little playground. And this is the top. Pretty cool view from up here.
Pretty.
Yeah. A lot of people know where I live just based on the neighborhood, but pretty green for the desert. It's about 80 degrees right now too, so it's March 25th, about 8 o'clock, 8:20. So all right, let's keep cruising out. So coming out, I'd like to go a lot faster, mainly because your heart's gonna lag. Gravity's doing all the work, you're not really having to move. So I'll do a light jog. And dude, anyone that's hunted knows how often you have to cook it to get ahead of a deer or cut them off or whatever. So it's good to train, just to train those little short sprints or just high speed walking with your pack on. Yeah, the impact's a little intensified, but it just helps again to build and reinforce those stabilizing muscles in your legs, your connective tissue like your tendons and your ankles and your feet. I'm just saying, I see guys roll their ankle hunting, but they don't train in advance. And it's, dude, you could roll your ankle training, you could roll your ankle hunting if you train, but I promise if you train and control it and isolate and focus the way I'm trying to do now, you're gonna be more durable on the hill. Why would you want to lose your season to a stupid injury when you could have prevented it by just training a little bit, stretching, focusing the muscles? I mean, especially as you get older. I'm 33. I'm not that old, but I'm feeling my body starting to respond differently to this kind of output. If you don't stay on top of it, you're not only gonna deteriorate, but you're gonna be way more prone to injury. And then your hunt, your fall, your once in a lifetime tag you waited all these years to draw, you're just gonna throw it away. So, you know, again, you don't have to train, but man, when you do, hunting sure is a lot easier. So any guys wondering what the desert muley terrain looks like that we hunt? Just like that, minus the houses, of course. Where we hunt's not far from here. It's the same terrain. They just developed this part so the deer moved out, but it's just this great big high lava mesas, very little vegetation, lots of palo verdes, and believe it or not, the deer actually hide pretty well in this. They're tough to find. It's just a sweet place to hunt. You need to come to Arizona and check it out. Just always look for ways to keep your heart rate elevated. If it comes out of that zone I was telling you about, you need to step it up, whether you just run a quick sprint, just crank up the speed a notch. As I'm going downhill, gravity's doing all the work. So all I do is just pick up my feet and move a little faster. And there goes the heart rate right back up to where it was. Bombing down the hill like this too is really good for your quads because you're bouncing. It's a lot like jump rope, one leg at a time. The cool thing about it though is the ground's always varying, so you're never on a flat surface. So each time you jump, there's a new surface where your ankles, your feet, your connective tissue, your tendons have to adjust and adapt and basically absorb that impact, and that's where they grow. Because you probably break them down a little bit doing it, but after a while, I mean, my ankles and feet used to kill when I would run on the mountain. But if you get some good shoes like those Solomon Speed Cross I was telling you about, and you practice 2 weeks tops, you'll be able to fly on the trails and you won't even feel it when you come home. Cardio should not wear you out. It should do the complete opposite, which again seems kind of counterintuitive. Cardio is not intense to the point where you're breaking your body down, you're just burning fat. So, you know, cardio is going to be crappy at first, but after a few weeks of it, your body will adapt and you'll begin to crave it, because again, hey, you start your morning off like this, you have a huge endorphin rush, metabolism spiked, you feel great, get a little sun. Yeah, nothing bad, nothing wrong with it at all. Okay, so that took me exactly 40 minutes. 40 minutes of sustained cardio rate, a whole bunch of elevation gain, loss, changing speeds, changing, stride length, whole bunch of different stuff to help you hunt. The pack's feeling real heavy now. Remember, cardio 4 to 5 days a week. Wake up early, empty stomach, glass of water, pound it. The more cardio you do, the more fat you'll burn, the more energy you'll have, the more you'll tone your muscles, the more more agility you'll have on the mountain. You'll just be a better hunter. And there's nothing wrong with improving. The guys that make fun of it or clown it, they got their own style. Just do it your ways and forget about what they think. If you have any other questions, I got a lot more videos just like this. Subscribe to my channel or go to ZACGRIFFITH.com for more information. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Dad invested in